If you're going to spend about the same amount of money, which one would you buy? Yeah. And why? Let's do this. Obviously the bin storage is going to be bigger. It's going to hold more stuff, you know. But the problems I run into with these things, like this one here, the drawers, oh, even the plastic cheap ones, the drawers seem to break. This one here is a 3D printed drawer to replace the one that broke and fell apart on me in here. And so I replaced that one drawer. You can 3D print drawers from. So if you see this at a yard sale for $1, you can pick them up. The problem I'm finding is the labels don't seem to want to stay on or stick, and when I do label them, I don't seem to follow the instructions of my own labeling. Yeah, that's bad. This here I like because you can just look into the bin and you can, see what's in there, but this one has some deficiencies as well. But they're both theoretically 30 bins or 30 drawers, both of them. And right now, this one was, like I say, it was an old metal one that costs about $29.95 in its day or more. These were expensive. This one here, you can get at a Harbor Freight for around, I think it's around $23, $24, or you can go to Amazon, and for I think around $27, they'll drop this thing right at the house, which I prefer. Rather than save the $3 and drive over 30 miles to a Harbor Freight store, for me anyways, I'd rather just order this on Amazon and they'll just drop it at the door and I'm good. Plus, if for some reason I don't like what I'm seeing, Amazon has a great return policy where you just pack it back up, stick a label on it, drop it at the local UPS store and send it back. So really don't have a problem with this situation. Now, want to talk about, obviously size is number one, but also these drawers seem to break, crack, the labels don't stick, and you end up putting junk in them. Eventually you end up with, I have lost count how many of these things I've got kicking around. And I noticed a lot of small shops seem to pile these things up to the point of where you can't find anything anymore. I like this idea, but there is a problem. And I'm gonna, actually, let's get the product up here, get rid of the box, and take a look at it. See, it really looks nice. It's all shiny and new. The first problem I've got is the mounting plate they use back here. This is all just plastic, and so if it's not screwed up to the wall really good, it's going to warp or droop or get weird on you, and so that's not a good thing. The other thing I was looking at was this good part is when you look into the bins, you can kind of see visually, like right in front of them. And also they have a little slot here for a card, so a little ticket. Funny enough, they don't seem to offer some paper, some cardboard tickets, whatever, so you can make up and say, quarter 20 screws or, self-tapping screws, whatever, and label these things so that you can, really organize a bin set like this. I'm going to nail this up on the wall, and I'm not sure where it's going just yet. I'm thinking about using it for my 3D printing products, and we can put the products in the bins, and that way we can just pull from the bins as we need something. But I made my own bins for the what I'm doing right now. It comes with this little instruction sheet, which doesn't really give you a whole lot of information about it. It's cheap, like I say, it's sold at Harbor Freight, so we're already in trouble. But it's pretty basic, and each one of these bins has a little slot on the back of it, so it just hangs on that. Now again, because the plastic and because the plastic hangers and stuff, obviously you don't want to put, I don't know how much weight each one of these bins can hold, but I wouldn't fill them up with fishing weights because the whole thing will probably come right off the wall. And over time, I'm thinking the plastic will probably creep and droop down a little bit. But it seems like a nice enough kit. I will provide a link in the description below where you can find this at Amazon, in case you're like me and that Harbor Freight store is a long drive, and yeah, rather than blow $20 worth of gas to go get it. Yeah. And will it sit on its own? I guess it won't. I'm gonna have to hold it up here, so I'll just lay it down. On another strange note, the instructions say that there are 8 wood screws to be used to hold this up. There are actually 12 places where the wood screws can be set up to help hold this thing together. And again, because it's such a flimsy piece of plastic, you know, more screws the better. But yeah, even the instructions have it wrong. And it says contact Harbor Freight if you have any, you know, issues. You know, yeah, I can see that working. I went over the instructions very carefully, and there's no recommended weight, or, you know, don't put too many pounds or whatever in these things. I guess uncommon sense, we'll say, and don't overload this thing. But because I gotta keep remembering, you know, it's just plastic, and you can get it at Harbor Freight. That should tell you two things right there. It also mentions pegboard. And so I tried some of my different pegboard systems on the plastic here, and they don't fit. So as far as the pegboard thing goes, I don't get it. You know, I just don't. Also, they don't supply any labels. Again, you know, this is a Harbor Freight item. You know, so it's like, yeah, typical. The back of these things has just these little plastic tabs that hook into the back of the panel. So again, not great. So if you're really thinking about anything that's got a lot of weight with it for bins and stuff, this system here would not be for you. But it's still not a bad little kit. I'm going to hang it on the wall. Oh, one other thing I did notice, you can, by the looks of the way they did this, you can cut this thing in half so you could have like vertically mounted instead of horizontal this way. If for some reason you needed that, you could do it. It's not a bad little, for the money, I guess it's not a bad little kit. I do like the idea of having the bins instead of the those little drawers to fish through and try to find something. So we will be definitely hooking this up on the wall someplace here and using it, you know. I think we've covered the territory on the bins right now. The other thing I wanted to show today was the Toptes. They have sent over a sound meter, they've sent over a gas meter. They've had some really interesting small handheld, easy to use meters. And they now have this one here, which is lumens light meter, a light meter. Yeah, if you're into videography or, you know, photography of any sort, really, a light meter is something you really want around on a studio or something. But also if you're growing plants or have a large greenhouse and you're concerned about lighting at certain areas and things, again, you know, light meter. If you're also building projects, like I've got something going on back here with LED panels, I want to know how much light is coming off those panels, and I don't know. There's nothing on the tags to tell me, so this light meter will tell me how many lumens we have. So we're going to find out today how many lumens I've got. Lumen is a funny number. It's used for electric light bulbs, and if you go to the, like Lowe's or Home Depot or something, you're buying a light bulb now, you'll notice that it has a lumen rating. And unfortunately, it's not an easy piece of mathematics to work with, because like 600 lumen is not equivalent to a 60 watt light bulb. And a lot of times on the packaging, they'll tell you what it's equivalent to. But even then, sometimes I don't really necessarily agree with the manufacturer. I have found, like for 60 watt light bulbs, a lot of times I will lean towards 700 to 800 lumen to try to get the, you know, the same amount of light that I had with the old incandescent 60 watt. That's kind of a shame. We should probably come up with we could come up with a conversion, you know, we could do that, but the problem is I don't know if anything would work or be applicable, because everybody, you know, rooms and everything have different things. I've got a white ceiling in the garage here. It bounces a lot of light off for me, which is cool, you know. But somebody else might have maybe one of those black ceilings or something else up there, or just wood, and again, it won't bounce the light, so it's not going to give you as much light with the same amount of fixturing. So something like this could help you out a little bit with that. We're going to take it apart and take a look at it, and we're going to measure some light today. Yeah, measuring light. Yeah, who knew? Toptes has in the past sent us some strange things. This one here is really cool. It's got a little light. Here's the light sensor right in the top of it, and the head rotates all the way around so that you can, you know, hold it up this way or that way or whatever it is you need to take your reading. It also comes with the batteries, which has always been great. And I will go get a screwdriver, I guess, and put some batteries in it. So there it is. The first thing we're going to do is just power it up and hopefully focus, focus, focus. We'll see how much lumen we have here today. Looks like we're running right around 14 to, wow, we're running some light. I'm running a lot of light in the room here. I have to, because for camera photography work, you need lots of lumen. So there you go. I've got about 1400 lumen here. That's actually quite a bit. Unfortunately, the degrees looks like it's in Celsius, so it does give us this temperature, which we will change that setting once we figure out how to. A unit, there we go. I want Let's see, we want lumen and we want, there we go. Okay, now, yeah, so now you can see it's almost 90 degrees in here at 1400 lumen. That's the actual temperature of the room, and there's the lumen number. That lumen thing, once you get a handle on it, you sort of get a feel for lumen and how much, you know, light it is. Let's talk about lumen for a second. So really quick, let's talk about lumen. Lumen is Latin, and it's just Latin for light. That's all it meant in the old days, way back, thousands of years ago. But it's used now as a, you know, measurement towards how much light is coming from some of these new LED fancy fixtures, I guess we'll call them. And the issue is they just don't relate to the good old, you know, what was it? Remember Tim Allen was running around looking for 85 watt light bulbs because he said those were the very best or something. And he had to meet some guy in a back alley to get them, or a case of them or something, because, you know, everybody was wanting to sell LED these days. So I've got a flat panel project going on here that's LED, and I know how much wattage it is. It's 40 watts, which is pretty low for, you know, what it is. In terms of LED, 40 watts is a fair amount of power. But what I don't know is how much lumen I have from this panel. I'll show you the panel right here. It's a big 2x2 flat panel with LED behind it. Found these at a yard sale. What else is new? You know? And I wanted to turn these on, and so I, you know, just put a temporary piece of wire on there so I could, you know, have a look. So we're going to plug one in. Are you ready for this? Yeah. Boom, boom. Okay, here we go. Yeah. And what would be really nice is to have a meter like this right here. And let's see. We'll turn the meter on, and we'll take a reading, and I'll even tilt the head around so that I can stand here and look at this thing. Almost 10,000 lumen. Wow, I knew they were bright. I didn't realize they were that bright. Whew. Okay, let's shut that thing off. Wow. So, interesting situation here with a lot of different applications, and very inexpensive. I think they're on sale at Amazon right now for around I think it was around $29. So it's a pretty good little meter for a lot of different things. If you're an architect, something like that, this is something, again, you know, you'd want to add to your repertoire of tools. But also if you're into photography and videography, I'm just trying to think of different places, or just a commercial site where you end up with a customer and you're trying to get the amount of light that they want or something, or projects. There's just a lot of crazy things these days where lighting has kind of become a science with this LED stuff. So something like this could really help a lot of people out. And I'm going to give one away because I have 2 of them, and they come with Duracell batteries, by the way. Yeah, Toptes doesn't mess with that. They give you those, you know, Duracell, the copper tough battery, I think it is, something like that. Yeah. Let's get started. Yeah, so how are we going to do this? All right, we've got brand new, still in the box, the light meter from Toptes, and it's, like I say, it's a pretty unusual tool, but it's something that some people need. So we're going to be giving this away. Now, how do we get in that? Okay, well, here's how we do it. We email to ctrewards@gmx.com. In the subject line of your email, let's write LUM, just L-U-M. It's simple enough, right? And then just in the body of the letter, just your name and your address with the postal code, just like you were doing a return address for a postal system. That's all. Simple, easy, nothing to it. And then in up-and-coming shows, we will draw to see who wins the brand new Toptes light meter from them. And what an awesome, every meter they've sent in here has been really easy to use, which you know, you have to like that. This one can be set up for temperature, which is Celsius and or Fahrenheit, but lumen is lumen. There's no metric and standard to that one, so at least we can't go wrong there. It also has a little backlight feature and a hold feature for if you want to freeze the reading and then take it to somebody and show them, hey, look, you know, you got 8,000 lumen. What's the problem? But what a interesting little tool. I've got to say that there's a lot of other tools that we need to show, but today we're going to call it off. Like, that's it for Monday. But hey, thank you for watching Coffee and Tools. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring the notice bell so you don't miss out on giveaways. It's 92 in here. I'm out of here. Over and out.